أنا في اللونج. الدايت من الموضوعات الكتيرة اللي يمكن بنتكلم عنها كل يوم. موضوع الدايت ده يمكن العالم كله مهتم بيه، كل يوم كلنا بنهتم بالدايت ونحب نعرف أخبار الدايت، كلنا بنتابع السوشيال ميديا، بنتابع البرامج الجديدة، بنتابع مجلات، نعرف ايه هي أنواع الدايت وايه اللي ممكن أعمله عشان أحافظ على وزني وأحافظ على أسلوب مثالي لمحافظة على طريقة تغذية سليمة. Why most people like to know more about the diet? Is there a diet for everyone? How can I maintain my life or my diet? الحقيقة يمكن حبيت أعرف عن الدايت، ولو حبيت أعرف معلومات كتيرة عن الدايت نفسي أعرف كمان تأثير الدايت عليا، يعني تأثيره على نفسيتي، تأثيره على صحتي، وكمان تأثير الدايت على علاقتي بربنا. وعلشان كده ما تستغربوش لو حبيت أتكلم عن الدايت، حبيت أتكلم النهاردة مع أبونا. أحب الأول قبل ما نبتدي حلقتنا أحب إن أنا أفكركم إن إحنا بنحب قوي إن أنتوا تشتركوا معانا في حلقتنا النهاردة. We're very happy if you can join us through Slido. You can send us your question and we're happy to answer. نبتدي معاكم حلقتنا النهاردة، وقبل ما نبتدي حلقتنا أحب أرحب بضيوفنا النهاردة. أبونا جوناثان أيشك، أهلا بيك أبونا، أهلا منورنا. أهلا بيك. أبونا مارك باسيلي، أهلا وسهلا بيك أبونا. Hi, Michael is Allah, the dietitian and personal trainer. How are you going? عامل ايه؟ good. أبونا النهارده موضوع يمكن بيتكلم فيه كلنا كل يوم، الدايت. كل يوم في الفطار والغداء والعشاء لازم افكر في الدايت. ليه موضوع الدايت ده موضوع يمكن very common اليومين دول؟ ليه العالم كله بيتكلم عن الدايت؟ ليه دايما في ارتباط ما بين صحة الانسان وما بين الدايت؟ احيانا كتير لما اروح عند الدكتور يقول لي اشتكي من حاجة معينة، على طول يلينك to my healthy eating habits. يعني why is there a link between the health and the diet?
انا متهيألي يا ماجي ان ربنا خلق اللينك ده قبل ما الدكاتره زي ما انت بتقولي كل ما نروح لدكتور يكلمنا يربط الحاجه بتاعتنا بالدايت. لو انا عندي سكر وانا عندي سكر شويه، فاول ما حاجه الدكتور يقول لي لازم تخس، ولو ظهري وجعني شويه الدكتور يقول لي لازم تخس. وكأن الطب الحديث والدكاتره اللي موجودين دلوقتي بيأكدوا الحاجه اللي عملها ربنا. ليه انا بقول الحاجه اللي عملها ربنا؟ لأن ربنا ربط الأكل الزيادة والشهوة بتاعت الأكل بالعيا بتاعنا. يعني لما ناس تاكل كتير قوي تبص تلاقي الجسم بتاعهم متلخبط شوية، يزيدوا في الوزن، ونتيجة زيادة الوزن إن يحصل لخبطة في الجسم بتاعهم. وكأن ربنا بيدينا إنذار كده، أنت مزودها زيادة شوية في الأكل عن الليفل اللي أنا عايزك تاكل فيه. استغربت جدا زي ما بقولك يا ماجي، كان عندي دايابيتز، وبعدين رحت للدكتور مرة قال لي جرب تقيس عدد من الكيلو جرامز، ولو خسيت الدايابيتز هيروح. قلت يا ربي، يعني معنى كده ان جسمي مظبوط على وزن معين وانا زودت في بتاعي، فجسمي ابتدى يبقى مش مبسوط. ففعلا عملت دايت كده اهو، وكان الدكتور بتاعي في الدايت والبيرسونال ترينر هو دكتور مايكل جنبي. اتفقنا مع بعض من سنتين كده، رحت زرته في العياده بتاعته واتفقنا على دايت، وخسيت بشكل كويس لدرجه ان بعد ما خسيت جسمي اتظبط لوحده، ان ربنا قال لازم تخس وهو ده وزنك. وبطلت اخد ادويه السكر لفتره، وبعدين لما رجعت حتى ادويه السكر خدت حاجه صغيره خالص. فاستغربت ان الدايت بتاع الانسان ده هو الشيء اللي مظبوط، اللي ربنا خالق الجسم بتاع الانسان يبقى بيشتغل كويس وهو جسم كويس. ولو زودنا في الاكل وجسم تخن شويه، وكأن ربنا بيقول لا انت زودتها شويه، مش هو ده الليفل اللي انا عايزه. فاللي حصل في الطب دلوقتي هو اللي طلب ربنا مننا علينا نكون معقولين في الاكل. في ايات كتير قوي في الانجيل نقول قد ايه ربنا عايزنا ما ناكلش زياده. يمكن بعد كده لو في وقت في الحلقه بقى اقرا شويه
ان شاء الله. ابونا انت بتعمل لينك او علاقه ما بين صحه الانسان وما بين الاكل. انا افتكر قوي ربنا لما خلق الانسان في الخليقه، الانسان ادم وحواء، وكان الاكل المتاح بالنسبه لهم اكل خضروات وفاكهه. يعني the only available food is just vegetable and fruit. يعني كان هو مصمم وخالق الانسان بتكوينته بالشكل ده، ان هو لو كل الاكل البسيط ده، الاكل الفيجن ده، هيبقى صحته كويسه وجسمه كويس. ولما احنا دخلنا بعد كده المأكولات التانية الزياده اللي دخلت كتير على حياتنا، الجانك فود والسويتس والحاجات دي كلها، هي اللي ترتب عليها انه ده مختلف عن الطريقه اللي ربنا خلقنا عليها.
يبدو ان فعلا هو ده ربنا خلق الانسان كده يا ماجي، فيعني يبدو ان هو ده الحاجه اكثر صحيا. وطبعا لما ننظر للشعوب اللي هي بتاكل حاجات اكتر، خضار اكتر وفاكهه اكتر، تلاقي عمرهم اطول وصحتهم احسن حقيقي.
ابونا مارك، يمكن يعني في علاقه ما بين الحياه الروحيه. لو حبيت انا اتكلم مع ابونا النهارده عن الدايت، فاكيد هتكلم من وجهه تانية، يعني هتكلم in a different way. يعني is there a link between the spiritual life and fitness؟ يعني spiritual life and fitness، يعني في علاقه ما بين الحياه الروحيه وما بين تمتعي بجسم رياضي او جسم مثالي يعني.
Yeah, I think there's lots of actually connections between our physical bodies and its health and fitness and our spiritual lives. I think first of all, when you think about the way that God created humans, that He created everything to have this natural pleasure to it. That everything that man does has a natural pleasure. For example, the need to rest. God creates sleep, and sleep is pleasurable. The need to have energy for the body to function. God created eating, and He made eating to be pleasurable. And so everything that God made as a need for humans, He also attached to it pleasure, natural pleasure, which is out of God's love and kindness. He could have made it a very mechanical process, like putting petrol in a car. That's the source of energy. But He made it to be an activity that a lot of pleasure, that creates physical bonds with people, sharing a meal with someone and exchanging love, and being around a table together, a common table. So there's a lot attached to the way God designed eating. And because there is this natural pleasure, then man will always like to eat more because it's pleasurable. But I think if we look at it from that perspective, that eating is a pleasure, a gift given by God, then we ought not to destroy that gift, but to use it in its proper way. And so I think that's the first link to our spiritual life, is that we're using eating as the proper gift that God had intended it to be, as a source of energy and nutrition for man, but also a form of natural, simple pleasure that man can enjoy as they eat. So we don't abuse that gift that God has given us. You know, that's one of the, but there are many more, I think.
مبسوطه قوي ان قدسك بتحاول تربط ما بين ان ربنا ممكن يدينا هدايا وجيفتس في حياتنا. مش معنى ان الاكل ده عطيه من ربنا، هو اداها لنا عشان نستمتع بيها. وكلمه نستمتع بيها دي حاجه مش غلط، لان دي من محبه ربنا لينا، ان هو ادانا حاجات معينه نتمتع بيها في حياتنا. بس المهم ان احنا نتمتع بيها بالطريقه الصح وبالوقت الصح وبالاسلوب الصح. Michael, just I want to know if we can start talking about the diet, if many people would like to know more about the diet. Some people say that I want to know, is there a correct way to do diet? Is there a correct way? Is there a wrong way and a correct way?
So we'll start by saying that there is no one diet that fits all. For everyone, it needs to be a dynamic approach which suits that person's lifestyle. I think where people will go wrong is where they try to do something to lose a lot of weight really quickly, and it doesn't adapt to their lifestyle, and as a consequence, once you lose the weight, you will eventually burn out, and you will go and you return to your original weight, or sometimes even more. And so the best type of way to lose weight is a lifestyle approach, and a lifestyle approach is a combination of losing weight sustainably, slowly. It's a combination of having healthy foods. So some diets out there that make you lose weight really rapidly are not actually very nutritious. So you want to eat very healthy foods. You want to make sure that you cook them properly. You want to make sure that you lose weight slow and steady, because anytime you lose weight rapidly, there is a high chance that you're going to put it back on. And so the question is, well, okay, what is healthy food? So the first answer to that is we have 5 food groups that we can look at. So fruit, vegetables, dairy, grains and protein. So you want to make sure that you have a balanced approach through all those foods. If you have too much of one and not enough of the other, that's not good either. So you have a balanced approach, and it's different for men and women. It's different based on your age group. So you want to make sure you have all of that. You want to make sure that your sugar intake is low. You want to make sure that your fat intake is low. And there's different types of fat. There's good fats and there's bad fats. And so you want to make sure that primarily you're having the good fats. The same as the carbohydrates. There's good sugars and there's bad sugars. So you want to make sure that you're having the good type of sugars in your diet. You want to make sure that you're having at least 2 liters of water every day. And very importantly, you want to make sure that you're exercising every day. Very commonly, it's the people that combine healthy eating with exercise that will get the best results. Almost 100% of the time, really. People that do the combination are the ones that do get the best results. You can lose weight without exercising, but you're really limiting yourself and what you can achieve. When you combine them, the results are phenomenal. And you can adapt that to a healthy lifestyle approach, because really we should all be exercising every day. It doesn't need to be in a gym or anything like that. We could just walk, we could go for a light jog. And so that's, I think, how you do a more healthy lifestyle approach, which in my opinion is a correct way to do it.
يعني اللي اقدر ان احنا نقول للناس عليه دلوقتي ان the health way or the correct way of doing diet at least تبقى part من our lifestyle، يبقى جزء من حياتنا اليوميه اللي احنا بنمارسها كل يوم، ما يبقاش لفتره معينه، لا يبقى ده every day، تبقى حاجه كده نستمر عليها طول العمر. ودي اللي لازم ناس كتيره تغير تفكيرها عن الدايت، لان في ناس بتقول الدايت ده لمده شهر او شهرين قبل المناسبه اللي انا عايزه احضرها وبعد كده خلاص.
I think there's also negative psychological consequences of doing a really drastic diet for a short period of time and putting all your faith in that and failing essentially to maintain that weight loss, because you don't measure weight loss just by losing the weight, you measure it by maintaining that weight loss. And for people to go up and down is a big emotional roller coaster. So there's the physical side and there's also the emotional psychological side.
ممكن انت اتكلمت معانا عن يعني some way food، يعني مثلا الكربوهيدرات، الشوجر، الفات، عايزين نتكلم فيها باستفاضه، بس انا هتكلم مع ابونا الاول، بس انا عايزاك تشرحها لي. بس قبل ما اتكلم مع ابونا الحقيقه انا عايزه افكركم بسلايدو، لان انا لغايه دلوقتي ما وصلنيش اي اسئله. حابه قوي ان انا اسمع بجد وتشاركوا معانا في حلقتنا النهارده، لان اكيد كل واحد عنده بيسمع كلمه دايت، اكيد في كل واحد في ذهنه اسئله كتير ومعلومات كتير عايز يعرفها عن الدايت. ابونا، انا موضوع الدايت ده لما اتكلم معاه ناس كتيره تقول انا مهتم بجسمي، بهتم بشكلي، انا عايز اعمل دايت عشان يبقى شكلي كويس واعرف اروح الشوبينج اشتري هدوم كويسه وتبقى مقاسي، وده الهدف اللي قدامي، وده الهدف الاساسي اللي قدامي. ازاي اتغير العالم كله تفكيره للدايت بالشكل ده؟ يعني هل الدايت ده لما اتكلم عنه هل حاجه ان انا باوفر يعني اهتمام، او ان انا بزود اهتمامي بنفسي وبشكلي؟ هل ده غلط؟ غلط ان انا اهتم بنفسي وبشكلي؟ يعني انا كده
لا مش غلط خالص. يعني هو ربنا ادالنا وزنات في حياتنا كتير يا ماجي، من ضمن الوزنات اللي ادالنا في حياتنا شكلنا وجسمنا، فلما نهتم بيه ونبقى شكلنا مناسب في المجتمع اللي احنا عايشين فيه، فاحنا بنحافظ على الوزن اللي ادالنا ربنا. ليه غلط؟ دي حاجه جميله جدا. الانسان دايما بيحب يزداد في كل حاجه، يزداد في علاقته بربنا، يزداد في حياته الروحيه، يزداد في حفظه على جسده. العكس غلط. العكس لو الانسان ساب نفسه يتخن كتير قوي، يبقى شكله مش مظبوط، ويبقى حاجات في جسمه مش مظبوطه، متهيألي ده نوع من انواع الغلط في الاهتمام بجسم الانسان. بس هو ما يبقاش هو الهدف الوحيد. يعني نفسي لما اجي يبقى الهدف الثاني ان انا احافظ على الصحه اللي اداني ربنا، لان زي ما انت ابتديتي الحلقه بتاعتك ان انواع كتيره من الامراض مرتبطه بزياده الوزن، والصحه بشكل عام مرتبطه بان جسمنا يكون معقول. فده متهيألي البعد ده بعد اجمل بكتير جدا من البعد بتاع بس احافظ على جسمي وعلى شكل جسمي واحافظ على صحتي، ظهري ما يوجعنيش، ركبي بعد ما اوصل لسن معين ما تبتديش تتعب كتير قوي، السكر ما يزيدش عندي، الكوليسترول ما يزيدش عندي، الفات ما يزيدش عندي. كل الحاجات دي مهمه جدا مع شكل الجسد طبعا.
ابونا، الوعي دلوقتي زاد، يعني انا حاسه ان احنا ويمكن ميبي في الزمن اللي احنا فيه ده، بحس الناس من كتر التعليم والوعي والثقافه حست فعلا اهميه ان هي تحافظ على نفسها، علشان الهدف ان هي تعيش حياه لونجر اطول وبصحه كويسه. يعني هو ده الهدف في حد ذاته. لو انا حطيت الهدف ده قدامي ان انا بس عايزه ابقى، انا عايز اضمن ان انا اعيش اطول فتره ممكنه، انا عايزه اعمل دايت عشان انا متاكد ان ده هيخلي صحتي كويسه عشان اعيش، انا خايف ان انا اصلا خايف من الموت مثلا، او خايف. فبرضو ازاي ان انا افكر بطريقه احسن.
انا متهيألي البعد الروحي في الدايت جميل قوي. هو انا فكرت 3 ابعاد اتكلم فيه بعد اذنك لما اجي بسرعه في دقيقتين. اول حاجه البعد الروحي، ان الواحد لما يزيد في استخدام حاجه بشكل شره مش كويس امام الله. يعني لما اكل كتير قوي واكل بشراهه ممكن ده يبقى خطيه. فانا لو انسان بخاف ربنا وعايش مع ربنا ما احبش اعمل كده. هقرا لك قول من اقوال الاباء لذيذ قوي، القديس يوحنا كاسيان، لقيته دلوقتي بيقول ايه؟ بيقول: عندما تمتلئ المعده بكل انواع الطعام فذلك يولد بذور الفسق. يعني الانسان لما يبقى واكل كتير قوي كده ومتخم بالاكل فمخه وغرايزه هتبقى زايده زياده. ده الاباء اللي قالوا الحكايه دي. ولقيت ان اقوال الاباء كتير جدا وبالذات الرهبان بتتكلم على امتلاء البطن بالاكل، حاجه مش روحيه، حاجه الانسان ما يسعاش اليها، حاجه مش حلوه في طبيعه الانسان الروحي انه يملا اكله، يملا بطنه بالاكل. قول تاني من اقوال الاباء في بستان الرهبان بيقول ايه؟ لا تشبع بطنك عندما تاكل. يعني لما تقعد على مائده طعام ما تقعدش تاكل 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 لغايه ما بطنك تتملي وتقوم تعبان، بل اترك المائدة وأنت غير ممتلئ. برضو بعد روحي جميل إن الإنسان ما يبقى شره في الأكل. من البعد الروحي الجميل بولس الرسول قال حاجة جميلة قوي في رسالة بولس الرسول الثانية إلى أهل تيموثاوس، قال على الشراهة في أي شيء، الشراهة في الأكل، إن الواحد يأكل ويستمر في الأكل لغاية ما بطنه تتملي، وساعات يبقى قايم من الأكل مش مبسوط ومش سعيد، هو تعبان. فبولس الرسول قال كلمة حلوة قوي تخلينا احنا كناس مسيحيين ما نحبش حكايه اللي انا اكل بكميه كبيره لغايه ما اقوم تعبان. بولس الرسول في رسالته لتيموثاوس الثانيه قال كلمه حلوه قوي، قال: ولكن اعلم هذا لتيموثاوس انه في الايام الاخيره ستاتي ازمنه صعبه. طب الازمنه الصعبه دي فيها ايه؟ بولس الرسول قال حاجات لذيذه قوي، وفي الاخر قال ايه؟ ابعد عن الحكايه دي انت والمؤمنين كلهم. من ضمن الحاجات اللي قالها قال ايه؟ تجد الناس يكونوا محبين لأنفسهم، محبين للمال. كل الصفات اللي ممكن تلاقوها في الزمن اللي احنا عايشين فيه دي موجودة في بولس الرسول الثانية لتيموثاوس شابتر 3. ومن ضمن الحاجات اللي قالها ايه؟ قال ثالبين عديم النزاهة. عديم النزاهة يعني إنسان مش معقول في استخدامه للأشياء. يعني دايما الإنسان اللي عنده نزاهة يستخدم الحاجة بشكلها مظبوط، لا يزود فيها قوي ولا يقلل فيها قوي. فعجبتني قوي كلمة بولس الرسول، وشجعتني على الدايت، ان كل مرة ازود في الاكل زيادة، اكل كمية كبيرة قوي، ابقى شاره كتير في الاكل، افتكر بولس الرسول قال الآية الحلوة دي، قال: خليك نزيه. نزيه يعني ما بتزودش في الحاجة كتير قوي. ثالبين كمان قال في الآية دي، ثالبين. ثالبين يعني بتاخد حاجة أكتر من الحق بتاعك أو الاحتياج بتاعك. فالبعد الروحي للدايت بعد جميل للإنسان الروحي، إنك أنت لما بتزود فيها صحيح بتخلي جسدك معرض لغرائز أكتر. الآباء قالوا كده كتير جدا. فالإنسان الروحي اللي خايف على علاقته بربنا يماجي متهيألي لو واخد البعد ده مع الكلام قاله مايكل على ان الجسم محتاج ياخد كميات معينه ومحتاج يبقى عنده لايف ستايل، البعد الروحي لو اخدناه هنعيش في حياه دايت كويس. مش لازم اقعد على الترابيزه اكل كتير، حتى لو بكون في مكان وازود في الاكل زياده عن اللزوم، لا الشكل حلو قدام نفسي ولا قدام الناس ولا قدام اللي حواليا. فيعني معقول الانسان صحيح يسلك حكم قال بولس الرسول. اسمحي لي اقول بعدين تانيين بسرعه يا ماجي. البعد السلوكي يعني برضو في سلوكيات معينه بتخلينا اكتر قدره اللي احنا نعيش في الدايت. من ضمن السلوكيات ان ما يبقاش في كميه اكل كبيره وانواع كتير قدامنا. ساعات كتير تروح المكان تلاقي انواع، او في البيت تلاقي انواع كتيره. لما يبقى في انواع كتيره بنضعف اكتر، ناكل اكتر وبنتعب اكتر. ده بعد سلوكي. احنا كمصريين عندنا السلوك ده، نحب نحط انواع كتير ونحب نحط حاجات مشهيات. كلمه مشهيات في حد ذاتها يعني تخليكي عايزه تاكلي اكتر ومش عايزه تسيبي الترابيزه، في مخلل وفي مش عارف بتنجان وفي بابا غنوج وفي مش. لو الواحد ابتدى ياخد كل حاجه من الحاجات دي مستحيل يعمل دايت. يعمل دايت ازاي؟ فالبعد السلوكي يا ماجي بعد مهم جدا، الانسان يفكر في السلوك بتاعه. البعد الثالث الحلو برضو البعد العقلي، ان الانسان دايما يكلم عقله بشويه كلمات كده لذيذه. اقول لكم شويه الكلمات اللي ممكن نقولها. الاكل كتير مرض، لو فضلت تقول الكلمه دي كتير خالص، ان لما اكل كتير مرتبط بالعيا ومرتبط بالمرض. يمكن البعد العقلي ده يخلي عقلي ما يحبش ياكل كتير. الجسم المعتدل صحة، برضو لو انا بقول الكلمة دي مرات كتيرة الانسان يعود نفسه انه هو ده الفكر بتاعي، ان لما يبقى جسمي مظبوط هو ده بعد عن يعني هو ده من ابعاد الصحة. في وقت قصير قوي لو سبت نفسي هزيد 15 كيلو او 20 كيلو، وده بيحصل معانا وبالذات في الخمسين، واحنا دلوقتي في الخمسين ممكن الواحد يبتدي بعد الصيام الكبير يبتدي في الخمسين يلاقي نفسه زاد 10 كيلو 15 كيلو. لو هو كلم عقله وقال لعقله انا ممكن انتهي بزياده 15 كيلو مش عارف انزلهم، ممكن الانسان يحترم نفسه شويه وممكن الانسان ياخد لباله من وزنه.
جميلة قوي يا ابونا، قلت لك ربطت ما بين اقوال الاباء فعلا وما بين الدايت. انا اعتقد ان هو ده السبب في نجاح اي انسان في الدايت او المحافظة على جسمه، ان هو يربط ما بين المرجع الروحي او العلاقة الروحية بينه وبين ربنا، وما بين فعلا التدريبات العملية العلمية بين الدايت. Abuna Mark, I want to ask a question about when every day I'm watching what I eat, I'm follow physical activities, I put myself in a system in a way. So how can I imitate this in my spiritual life? How can I follow a system in my spiritual life as well? Sometimes I'll be successful doing the diet, but I can't do the same in my spiritual life. Same system.
I think you've raised a good point, Maggie, because when we think about ourselves, sometimes we separate ourselves as body, spirit and mind. We say spiritually I'll be strong, but physically I've let go, or vice versa. Physically I'm really strict, but spiritually I'm not paying attention. I think separating ourselves in that way is not accurate. I think we are an integrated person, body, mind and spirit. And it's so interlinked that each one will affect the other one. And so when we speak about looking after our physical bodies, then we are also speaking about looking after our spiritual lives, because they are interlinked. You can't separate them from each other. I remember when I was first ordained a priest, I started visiting houses, and as you know, every time you visit a house, there is beautiful food. In each house there is multiple feasts set before you. So I was loving life. Every house I go to, I eat, and next house I have dessert, and I put on about 20 kilos in 1 year, my first year as a priest. And every time I would go to confession with a Buni Aub, and I would speak about my spiritual life, he would always end by saying to me, it's time that you lose weight. What's your plan to lose weight? And so I was okay, well, no, I'll work on it. Next time I go talk about spiritual matters, he brings it back to it's time to lose weight. And then I said to him, like, oh, I'm talking about spiritual things here. Don't worry about my weight for now. And he said, no, it's all linked together. When you look after yourself with your weight and what you eat and your fitness and your health, it will indirectly look after your spiritual life. The strictness that you apply to what you eat and to the way you look after your body will have its effect on your spiritual life, because it's so interlinked. So if I'm letting go completely with what I eat, then I'm letting go spiritually. And that's exactly the reason the church always places for us periods of fasting, because it constrains the body in a way that will then have effect on my spiritual life. So it's a win-win. If I look after myself physically, I'm looking after myself spiritually.
Spiritually as well. And just maybe it's a way to learn how can I put myself in a system, how can I follow a routine, a daily routine in a prayer, for example, reading the Bible, for example. If I'm succeeded in my diet as well, the opposite can happen. Yeah,
exactly
well.
right.
Yeah, Michael, I want to know, you talked about before about how can we make a balanced meal. This is what I know. I need to know more about it. Some people would like to know more, maybe information from a professional one to know what's exactly need to have in a balanced meal every time.
So what's in a balanced meal also depends on what you've had throughout the day. Because if you have not had, a lot of, if you've had an insufficiency in nutrients throughout the day, you might need to compensate for that later on. But generally speaking, a balanced meal or a balanced plate for dinner would have half the plate salad or non-starchy vegetables. By non-starchy, I mean vegetables that aren't rich in carbohydrates.
Okay.
Some vegetables you'll find are rich in carbohydrates, like potato, sweet potato, corn. And there's vegetables that don't have much carbohydrates at all, things like broccoli, cauliflower, things like that. So half the plate should have essentially no carbs, no carbohydrates. So vegetables that are non-starchy or salad. The other quarter of the plate is your protein. So this is ideally a healthy source of protein. So it would be things like chicken breast, no skin. It would be fish. You should try aim for fish 2 to 3 times a week. It could be a vegetable source of protein like lentils, beans. It could be tofu as well as another vegetable source.
And maybe the way I cook the protein, for example, the way I cook the meat and chicken.
So are we grilling the meat, or are we deep frying it? Are we baking it, or are we? So there's different ways to cook the meat as well. Different ways to cook food. And the other part of the plate. So a quarter of protein, half the plate salad or vegetables, and the other quarter should be your carbohydrates. Because if you're trying to do a balanced long-term approach, it's still good to have a bit of carbohydrates in your diet, but just pick the right ones. So we were saying before that there's healthy sugars and unhealthy sugars. So a healthy sugar would be one that's low GI, which means that when it's broken down, it releases that sugar slowly. The carbohydrates are broken down. It takes longer to break down over time. So this is generally speaking your starchy vegetables. It could be also your pastas, your rice, your basmati rice, whereas some other things are high GI, which releases the sugar quickly, things like lollies, Coke, things like that. Another quick tip to take is that when you have your vegetables, keep the skin on, because that skin has fiber, and that fiber helps release the sugar slower and makes it low GI as well.
Some people doesn't like to eat vegetables a lot. What we can do when we dislike something, and it's very important.
Look, I think vegetables is something that most Australians and probably Egyptians as well don't have enough of, as well as salad. If you don't like vegetables, you can have salad, but the idea is that it needs to happen. You need to find a way to incorporate it into your diet. And even when people do incorporate it, we don't have enough. We should probably have vegetables or salad 2 or 3 times a day to get enough of what we're meant to get per day. This is, I think, probably comes down more to discipline, because it's something that we need to have. But we just generally don't have enough.
Some people maybe doesn't know exactly what we eat. So if you can know exactly some kind of food help them to weight loss, is there a specific food can help me؟ يعني ممكن في يكون أكلات معينة أنا لو أكلتها هضمن إن أنا هخس أو على الأقل هتساعد إن أنا أخس.
So
lose weight.
The quick and short answer to that is there is no food that will make you lose weight.
Okay.
What we're trying to do when we're trying to lose weight is we're trying to shift our body from a calorie surplus to a calorie deficit, which means instead of having more energy in than what we're using, we're trying to burn more than what we're eating. And the way of doing that is by substituting foods that are high in calories to foods that are low in calories. So, for example, instead of a snack of ice cream, I have a snack of some low-fat yogurt with some fruit. Automatically, by doing that, I have reduced the calories of that by several hundred, and that helps me take a next step towards being in a calorie deficit. Instead of having a snack of a nut bar, you have a snack of hummus and some carrot sticks. Then automatically, I'm reducing the calories. I'm more towards a calorie deficit. When you accumulate that over the course of the day, you've reached 500, 600, maybe 1,000 calories deficit, and that is what triggers a weight loss response. There is no particular food that makes you lose weight. It's just a matter of maths, essentially.
Sorry, Michael, I have a technical problem. Can I swap my phone, because apparently I don't have any questions here. Sorry about that. I've been waiting for any questions. Sorry. Thank you very much. This is the problem. Okay.
The other thing I'll quickly mention is a rate of weight loss that we should aim for. So sometimes when you talk to people that have gained weight, they want to lose a drastic amount of weight very quickly. And it's understandable why people want to do that. But the weight loss that most of us should go for is about 0.5 kilo to 1 kilo per week.
اوكي. ابونا some people يعني بيعتبروا ان الصيام فرصه كبيره قوي ان انا الوز ويت. فرصه كبيره قوي لما ابتدي الصيام، وده فرصه كويسه ان انا هبتدي خلاص الصيام جاي وانا هبتدي اعمل دايت. ترى طريقه التفكير دي صح ولا غلط؟ ان انا ابتدي
يعني ابونا مارك يصلح لي لو انا قلت حاجه غلط، يعني انما ايه الغلط اللي فيها؟ يعني losing weight is a good target، حاجه كويسه جدا الانسان يفكر ان يلوز some of his weight. الصيام في نسك يا ماجي كمان. الاسيتيزم بارت اوف الصيام شيء جميل قوي، والنسك مرتبط بان الواحد ما ياكلش كتير. فلما بصوم الصيام الكبير مثلا بحب اصوم قطاعي. احنا عندنا الصيام ما ينفعش ان انا اصحى الصبح اكل اي حاجه انا باكلها، انا بصوم القطاعي لغايه الساعه 12 واحده، وبقلل كميات الاكل اللي انا باكلها كجزء من النسك في الصيام. لما بصوم وانا بفكر في حكايه النسك دي، الصيام بتاعي بيبقى حلو روحيا وبيبقى سعيد روحيا، بحس ان جسمي قابل ان انا اصلي اكتر، ان انا اقرا الانجيل اكتر. زي ما اقوال الاباء اللي انا قلتها يا ماجي كلها مرتبطه ان الانسان لما ياكل كتير الروحانيات بتاعته بتقل والغرائز بتزيد. فمناسب جدا في الصيام الانسان ياكل قليل. حتى لو الانسان حط تارجت ان انا في الصيام ممكن اخس عدد من الكيلو جرامز، 10 كيلو جرام مثلا في الصيام ولا حاجه زي كده، تارجت جميل جدا، حاجه روحيه وحلوه، بس يفكر فيها بشكل روحي، مش بس اللي انا داخل. يعني برضو ما ينساش الحكايه الروحيه اللي انا عايز اعيش في نسك شويه يا ربي، ومن ضمنها النسك ده هيديني هديه اخر الصيام، والهديه دي اللي انا هخس عدد من الكيلو جرامز وهعمل دايت حلوه قوي. دي هديتك يا رب في الصيام كل سنه. فحلو الصيام، فتره الصيام فتره حلوه الانسان يخس فيها. انا بعمل كده يا ماجي، اعتراف كده علني ان في كل صيام احط كده تارجت، واحس ان ربنا كده اخر اسبوع في الصيام هو مش ماشي كويس في التارجت ده. اخر اسبوع في الصيام وكأن ربنا لو انا صمت كويس صحيح كده واخدت بالي من صيامي واخدت بالي من حياتي الروحيه، تلاقي ربنا اداني التارجت ده في اخر الصيام. صدقني كذا مره حصلت.
انا طمنت كده، طمنت على الاقل.
من ضمن الحاجات يا ماجي اللي انا عايز اقولها كمان، ان لو واحد بيتابع معاك يبقى حلو خالص. يعني انا استفدت لما حبيت اعمل السكر عندي زاد، والدكتور قال لي لازم تخس عدد معين من الكيلو جرامز. متابعة مايكل معايا كانت حلوة قوي. وانا فاكر ابونا مارك ومجموعة من الاباء حبينا مرة كده، ابونا يعقوب بيهتم بالدايت وكده، اهو كان المفروض يبقى موجود في الحلقة بتاعت النهاردة. عمل جروب كده تشالنجينج اللي احنا مين يخس يوصل تحت. فكنا بنتابع مع بعض كجروب، وكنا لما انا خسيت شوية كويسين لما كنت مع مايكل كان دايما بيتابع معايا وبيسألني كل اسبوع خسيت قد ايه. فالحكايه دي لذيذه في الصيام لو عملناها ومجموعه من الاصدقاء عملوها ويخسوا كل اسبوع زي ما بيقول مايكل كيلو ولا كيلو ونص، هتلاقي نفسك في اخر الصيام الصغير 6 اسابيع في كيلو ونص 9 كيلو او كيلو، يعني يبقى اتليست ما بين 6 ل 9 كيلو. الصيام الكبير ممكن 10 كيلو على الاقل. تبقى حاجه لذيذه مجموعه من الاصدقاء يعملوها مع بعض، ومش خطيه خالص طول ما البعد الروحي موجود.
Michael, I want to know how it's important to be guided with a dietitian and the personal trainer, because this is different in our culture. Maybe we used to depend on ourselves. I'm gonna plan to do a diet and I'm gonna search about it. I'm gonna try to do myself, but there is different way and different information I need to add it to myself. Maybe so. What's the importance of dietitian for me to do a diet?
I think the benefit of seeing a dietitian is if you're someone that has constantly struggled, you're always going up and down, or you've just never gone down really. I think it's in your benefit to see a dietitian because they have knowledge that you might not have. So they might be able to manipulate a diet for you that helps you go into that calorie deficit long term. In terms of seeing a personal trainer, it's not 100%, it's not necessary, but you just need to know that you need to do exercise every single day. And that is personal, it's individual. It could be that you walk fast every day, it could be that you have a bicycle at home. So, I mean, for example, there's a lady I'm seeing at the moment, she's 75 years old and she's lost 20 kilos just by, getting rid of the foods that we like to call musiba foods and sitting on the bicycle every day and exercising for 30, 40 minutes. So the personal trainer is not 100% necessary, but to talk to someone or to at least get knowledge from a credible source of how to lose weight, that's important.
Buna, يمكن it's very important to have a strong self-control. Self-control means I have to be strong. I have to decide when I'm eat and what I'm eating exactly. If I am weak, if I attempted towards a certain kind of food, لو انا حاسس ان ارادتي ضعيفه جدا ومش قادر ان انا خلاص، يعني دي مشكله فيا انا، يعني انا عندي مشكله ضعف الاراده، احلها ازاي؟ يعني انا عندي معلومات كويسه جدا وعارف كل حاجه وبسمع كل حاجه عن الدايت، وانا ممكن اقول لناس كمان، بس انا بلاقي اكله معينه ابقى خلاص مش قادر اقاومها، يعني اعمل ايه؟ What can I do?
Yeah, I think Jonathan mentioned this earlier, and I think that the solution really is to put obstacles in the way of the things we want to stop.
Yep.
And to make the things we want to take on easier to access. There's a book called Atomic Habits that I read recently, and in this book he gives an example of apples. He says that he wanted to start to eat more apples, and he noticed that his apples, he'd buy them, he'd put them in the drawer in his fridge, and after some time he wouldn't eat many apples, they'd go off, he'd chuck them out, and the cycle would repeat. So he made a simple change. He took the apples out of the drawer, he put them in a fruit bowl on his kitchen bench. He said that every time he walked past the kitchen, he saw the fruit bowl, took the apple, and he ate one. Before he knew it, he was eating so many apples in a day, just because it was in sight and there was no obstacle to get to the apples. And so I think we can do that for the things we want to eat more of. And the things we want to reduce, we make obstacles for those things.
Okay.
We don't have chocolate in the pantry. We don't have all the things that we find so tempting. That way, we're not just relying on our self-control, but we've put things in place to give us a hand with that.
Very good idea. بونا قال ايديا جميله قوي، عجبتني قوي. انا فعلا لما اكون ضعيفه الاراده خالص هخليها زي ما هي ضعيفه، بس هحاول اعمل حاجات كمان تساعدني ان انا اتغلب عليها. يعني ممكن قوي لو انا craving for sugar او chocolate ما اشتريش اصلا الشوكليت واحطها قدامي، ما اشتريش الحاجه، احاول ان انا امنع نفسي انها تكون موجوده قدامي عشان انا عارف ان انا لو شفتها هضعف واكلها. فدي بالطريقه دي ان انا شويه شويه اقدر ان انا اقوي الاراده بتاعتي. Self control is very important in our spiritual life. How can I imitate it as well in our spiritual life? How can I do the same, Abuna? If I want to pray more, if I want to fast, actually fasting like stop eating for a certain time of hours. This is very hard. How can I practice this?
No, look, I think this is back to the point that we are an integrated person. And so if we can practice it in the small things, it will have its effect into our spiritual life. I think sometimes we think of our body as a different category to our spirits, whereas actually our bodies are holy. And it's referred to in the Bible as a temple, because we are temples of the Holy Spirit. And that's for the same reason the Orthodox Church, we maintain the relics of the saints. We consider their bodies and even their bones to be holy. Our Lord Jesus Christ took on our human flesh and he sanctified it with his divinity. In the second coming, all of our bodies will be raised, and no matter what's happened to them, they will be raised again glorious. And so this body that we have, which St. Paul calls a tent, it's carrying our spirits, are actually holy. And they will not perish, they will rise again. And Christ sanctified this body. It's holy. It's a temple. And if we look at it in that way, we actually realize that it's something we need to look after. It's not something I can neglect and just care about my spiritual life. And that's why Jonathan was saying in the fast, having a goal of losing weight is a spiritual goal, because it's looking after the holy body that Christ has given to us.
لأن هو جسدنا فعلا هيكل روح الله القدوس، فلازم نحن نحافظ على جسدنا، لأن لما بنحافظ عليه in a good way بنقول له يا رب احنا بنقدر قوي النعمة اللي انت جبتها لنا، ولازم نحافظ عليها بشكل معين وبطريقة معينة. ده المجد اسمه برضو يعني. I've got a question for you finally. I've got a question from slide. I'm a 33 BMI and it took me 1 whole year with diet and exercise to lose 4 kilo. Then I gained 6 more in just 3 months. What is your advice? Any surgery option for me? Yeah.
Generally, surgery is a last resort. Diet and exercise is a very broad word, and you need to. I would ask the question: did you actually see a dietitian? You know,
Yeah.
that's the first question. Or is this a diet that you read on the internet? Because some diets on the internet, in my opinion, will make you gain weight or make you lose, minimal weight. So if you're going to do a diet and exercise, then see someone, because at a BMI of 33 and higher, the risk of chronic health conditions increases a lot.
Yeah.
So I would say see someone, see a dietitian, make sure that advice is specific.
Yeah.
That dietitian and the GP combination, which is also another reason why you should see the health professional, is because everyone tailored medical, they might have different health conditions which restrict person to lose weight.
Yeah.
So there are some metabolic conditions, other health conditions which make weight loss much harder for people. There are medications as well that are used for some of these conditions to help speed up the weight loss. So the doctor might suggest, a medication to assist, but that's after a proper diet has been adhered to and proper exercise, because it's very rare, and it's very, very, like, maybe less than 10% of the time I have seen someone that has really done a really strict diet
Yep.
and really strict exercise and hasn't lost a significant amount of weight. It's
Yeah.
very rare. And there's other alternatives before going to weight loss surgery. There's many steps before that. But I would make sure you do a combination of your GP and your
And the
dietitian first. Maybe even an exercise physiologist to help make an exercise program.
It's a new way to think. I'll make it very important to see the dietitian these days. It's very important, as if I seeing the GP as well, because many people doesn't know that there is a scientific way, scientific meaning for everything. I have to know about it. So maybe they're doing in a wrong way.
maybe ممكن اسال
تفضل
سؤال
تفضل طبعا يا بونا.
ممكن قول لي مايكل برضو some idea about how can I go to a dietitian, how much it costs me, whether
Exactly.
Medicare covering this or not. There's a good chance for us to know more about that. We know how to go to my GP to change my glasses. Maybe a dietitian is something حاجة جديدة بالنسبة
love the
لنا.
question.
شوية
Of course. So a dietitian is accessible many ways. So if you go to your local GP, they can write you something called, it depends on your situation, but generally speaking, if you're a BMI of over 30, or if you, for example, have a chronic health condition like high cholesterol, diabetes, generally speaking, the doctor can write you a care plan, a chronic disease management plan, where you see any combination of allied health 5 times within a calendar year. So that might mean that you have access to a dietitian or a physiotherapist or a podiatrist up to 5 times in a year. And it's up to the dietitian or medical center whether they charge you a gap. Lots of dietitians don't charge a gap, some do. It's a matter of, I guess, shopping for a dietitian, in a sense, to see who you're comfortable with, male or female, the location, whether they charge a gap or not. But Medicare will rebate that. If you can't go through your GP for whatever reason, or you've used your 5 visits in a year, then you can go through some private health to cover it. And if that fails to, or your private health doesn't cover it, you can always just pay up front.
Another question, would you please discuss the medical solution things? Is there a medical solution? Is there a, I'm not sure what the meaning of this question exactly, but I assume that he rely on some medication, for example?
There's multiple medications out there. There's things like Duromine, which they really suppress your appetite. They stimulate fat cell usage. They do work, but they're like everything else. It'll be short-lived. And so my concern is whether or not you put weight on after. There's some medications that are used in conjunction with weight loss and exercise. Every medication is in conjunction with diet and exercise. But things like Saxenda, which you can ask your GP about. These are things that you need to talk to your doctor about. I can't make a call on that. And if you wanted to more a more aggressive diet approach, there's things like Optifast. But these are all really, and then finally there's bariatric surgery. But these are all things that you do after making sure you've done a proper diet and exercise regime. Because like I said, less than 10% have actually done it properly, that are saying that they have failed. A lot of people that I talk to that have said, I've tried everything, diet and exercise, it just doesn't work for me. the majority of the time they haven't done it properly. And so I would say that you make sure you're doing it properly, because if you're in that position where you do need to take medication or surgery, that will come from your doctor, because they have your interests at heart. They know that if that weight doesn't come off, you're increasing your risk of heart disease, diabetes, some cancers, so they are going to take the initiative of making you or promoting that avenue first. But if they haven't promoted that avenue, then they may feel that you haven't exhausted that option yet.
فور الميديكيشن، بس انا حابه اعلق تعليق بسيط قوي. اللي بيسالوا على الميديكيشن الحقيقه لازم، مش انا دايما في ظاهره بتطلع كتير ان انا سمعت مثلا عن دواء معين انا بحاول ان انا اخده زي ما فلانه ادتني منه شويه وهي لوست ويت، وانا ابتدي اخده يقوم الضغط يعلى فانا عندي مشكله. فالحقيقه المفروض ان الواحد يحاول ان هو يشوف الجي بي الاول بتاعه ويساله الاول اذا كان نوع الميديكيشن ده suitable for me، انا ممكن اخده ولا لا، ولا يمكن يعمل لي مشاكل صحيه بعد كده. is there another question related to the exercise? Are push-ups and sit-up alone good enough for exercise?
Alone, I would say no. So the best type of exercise is to stimulate your heart rate. Is to get it a bit sweaty and to stimulate your heart rate. So things like jogging, cycling, swimming, very good exercises. On the other side, there's other exercises which that really use a lot of muscle mass, which are also very good for weight loss. Things like resistance training or high intensity interval training. These things create a system called Ep2, which means that your body starts using a lot more energy the next 2 days to burn fat. So you want a combination of both cardio, ideally, so running, jogging, swimming, and using your muscles in some sense. So high intensity interval training, or if you're a younger person, or even cycling. Cycling is really good because you can change the resistance of the bike a little bit to make it a bit more intense for you. So it's something that you can change.
Okay. Another question: how to maintain the eating of a disabled child, especially when he loves his food? Apparently he's a young one, so it's very hard for the mom to control his eating.
Look, that type of question, I would say, is best in conjunction with a personal visit with a dietitian or a doctor. That's not something I'd feel comfortable talking about because it's very personalized.
There is a question in Arabic, English I can't read it. What about
Is Arabic written in English words?
Yes, I can read. الراجل من غير كرش maybe swish. I don't know, sorry. طب ننقل على سؤال تاني، أنا مش عارفة السؤال ده إيه بالظبط. I'm so sorry. What if I keep plateauing at a certain weight, and is that even possible?
Yeah, so lots of people in their weight loss journey will start by losing lots of weight real quick, and they'll flatten. And then the next question is, okay, well, how do I drop it again? So again, same solution. So the idea of going through a weight loss journey is that you're always in a calorie deficit. So you have to reevaluate your diet. Okay, so I was initially at, say, for example, 4,000 calories. I minus 1,000 by getting rid of the chocolate and the lollies and all of the musiba foods. And so now I'm at 3,000. So I'll lose weight. Okay, but eventually that 3,000 becomes my new normal to maintain my weight. Okay, so then you have to do it again. You have to get rid of some other stuff or make some other substitutions. In conjunction with that, we change our exercise. So if I start walking half an hour every day today, in 3 months' time, I don't burn anywhere near the same amount of energy as of today in 3 months. You have to keep challenging it. You have to keep increasing the intensity. So if instead of walking half an hour a day, maybe I jog 15 minutes and I walk 15 minutes. So again, looking at your diet, changing things, and also increasing the intensity of your exercise continually. It never stays static.
What if I eat just an emotional reaction?
Yeah, so emotional eating is a big thing. It's a big topic. So the first question is, okay, why am I emotionally eating? If there is a psychological basis for that, then a lot of dietitians work in conjunction with a psychologist. So for example, if I'm going through a depression or anxiety, talk to a Bona, talk to your psychologist, talk to your GP, because unless you tackle that issue, the emotional eating is always going to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, so that needs to be addressed. You can't ignore it, confront it. Two is, if I'm emotionally eat with a healthy food. You know, for example, if a whole punnet of strawberries has less calories than one Ferrero share. So if you're trying to, or if you want to go to some food for emotional eating, go to something healthier. Number three is, with the psychologist or a Bona or your GP, find a way to express that emotional energy in a healthy way. Maybe walking, cycling.
I understand that the lifestyle changes but failed. Is it wrong to have a short, drastic diet and then gradually climbed back up? Isn't this better than nothing?
Look, that's everyone's story, that they want to do a drastic, significant weight loss now, and then after I promise I'll do a lifestyle.
No.
But the fact of the matter is, if you can't do a lifestyle approach now, what's going to change in 2 months' time? The reality of it is, you need to start adopting a lifestyle approach from now. People that do weight loss surgery and lose a tremendous amount of weight, if they haven't changed the underlying habits that have made them gain weight initially, then even after the surgery, they'll continue to eat those foods or do a lack of exercise, and they'll gain the weight, or at least a good portion of it back again. So I think it's something to really consider, is that it's not just about drastic weight loss. Of course, the goal is to lose weight. But like I said, we don't measure weight loss just by kilos, we measure it by keeping it off. And if you can't keep it off, then you potentially are doing more damage by going up and down.
I've got a question related to the way I made food. A lady asked, or someone asked about which one is better cooking, oil or butter? Maybe olive oil or butter, or normal oil or butter?
So generally butter is rich in saturated fat, and saturated fat we know is linked with the bad cholesterol, which is linked to heart disease. So generally speaking, to cook with extra virgin olive oil will be better than using butter.
Okay, that's very good. It is believed that breakfast is a very important meal. Can you please advise what type of breakfast meal would you be considered healthy?
Yeah, so remember that there is no one diet for everyone. So for one person this is healthy, one person this is preferable, for another person they don't want to eat that. So again, we don't give out standard diets, because if you can't adhere to it, if you can't stick to it, then it's not a good diet. You need to give something that someone can do it seamlessly, someone that can eat this food without feeling like it's a diet. Breakfast is very important, so it could be something like wheat bix, it could be rolled oats. We're allowed, if you read the Heart Association, we can have eggs regularly now as well, but depending on how you cook it. You can have a no-fat yogurt with some berries in it. There's lots of different options.
That's good. I don't have confident feeling when joined to gym or physical activities. Can you please advise me what other options to lose weight along with simple diet food?
Yeah, so in terms of the exercise part, you can exercise at home. Like I said, I mentioned that 75-year-old lady. I remember her because I saw her last week. She exercises at home. She just has a bicycle at home, and every day she's on it. And she's an older lady. She has hip problems, but she still, or knee problems, but she still does it every day. Even some people from church here as well that don't want to exercise in a gym, they do it at home. Again, bicycle is very common. Or you can have a cross trainer
or treadmill,
and just do it at home. It's best to probably do it outside, because you get the sunlight, you get the vitamin D. But if you're not comfortable, the priority is to exercise, and you can do it at home. There's no issue.
Yeah, and just walking.
Just walking.
Normal walking. Yeah. Another question: what do you think about the keto diet? Tell us more about the keto diet. It's very common. We hear about it a lot.
Look, generally speaking, you won't find many dietitians promoting it. And the reason is twofold. One, it's drastic, it's radical. The idea is that you lose weight rapidly. Two, there's not a balance. Remember we were saying before that you want a balance of nutrients. You have 5 food groups, but when you do keto, you're cutting out at least 3 of them to reduce the sugar intake. And so the question is, am I getting a nutrition balance of all the micronutrients that I need? You know, you need a balance of nutrition to be healthy. And the third thing, I guess, is the amount of fat you have to eat. People that do keto generally may tend towards unhealthier sources of fat, that saturated fat, which we know is linked to heart disease. So what do I think of keto? I'm personally not, I generally don't endorse any sort of radical diet. I'm always going to a healthy lifestyle approach. And keto is, for me, not a healthy lifestyle approach because it's not sustainable long term, and you're doing lots of restrictions and you're eating foods that, especially fats that may be high in saturated fat. So for me, I'm not a fan, no.
Yeah, though some people
But some people do it.
it and succeed for and recommend it for the other ones.
So people can lose weight on it, don't get me wrong. You can lose weight on the keto diet, you can lose weight on many diets. But the fact of the matter is we're looking for something that you can do every day. You know, can you avoid carbs every single day? Maybe you can do it for 2 months, but what about for 6 months, 7 months?
What about intermittent fasting? What's your views on that?
Intermittent fasting, I think, is healthy because it can be incorporated into a healthy lifestyle. Not everyone has the time to have breakfast, for example. Some people are on the run and they and it's just the idea of breakfast or the idea of eating too late is just not sustainable for them. So I think for them, intermittent fasting is good. There is good science behind it as well. It's, I guess, founded on the fact that you lose fat faster or greater when there's no insulin floating in the bloodstream, and intermittent fasting promotes that because when you don't eat, there's no insulin floating around. So I think it works. I think it's sustainable for some people, not for everyone. So for example, if you're a person that wakes up very early, that might not be sustainable for you because you'll be hungry in an hour and a half. But if you're someone that's always on the run, then maybe it is sustainable for you. So it has to be an individual approach.
الناس اللي بيسمعونا ساعات بيحبوا عربي شويه.
ما انا اتفضل يا
بالتالي لو تقول الايموشنال ايتنج لو تشرحها شويه لانها مهمه شويه بالعربي عارفه تقدر تقولها هنساعد بعض كده. والتايب اوف دايت اللي ابونا مارك سالك عليه في الاخر ده انا اي ثينك اتس فيري امبورتنت ان الناس يسمعوها بالعربي كمان بعد اذنك كمان.
لا يبونا بقى انا هنا
emotional eating فلا
يعني emotional eating يعني انا لما بكون متضايق، لما بكون متوتر، لما بكون نفسيتي تعبانه باكل كتير. انا بحاول
thank you. So I think I feel like مشاعر قلق ومشاعر اكتئاب الحاجات دي لازم يعني to be addressed or to be
تتكلم عليها.
لازم تتكلم عليها مع ابونا او مع الدكتور علشان لو الحاجات دي is not addressed like هيزيد ممكن ويعني you have to address the problem.
لازم فعلا اتكلم عن المشكله مع ابونا او مع صديق ليا او مع حد I trusted بثق فيه، اطلعها واحاول احل المشكله الاول بدل ما اطلع كل غلبي وكل قلقي ده في الاكل. فده ببساطه كده يعني الموضوع، وده مهم قوي برضو في سؤال ان هو انا عايزه اتكلم عن المنتل هيلث ديزيزز، ان how can we link between the mental health diseases and the overweight. some people يعني ناس كتيره بيبقوا فعلا بتحصل لهم بعض المتاعب النفسيه لما بيحسوا ان وزنهم بيزيد، يقول لك انا تخنت 2-3 كيلو انا نفسيتي تعبت. يعني how can I link it?
That's the same sort of approach. So there is strong links to a healthy diet and exercise to emotional well-being. They found that exercise of half an hour per day is equivalent to taking an antidepressant. So that's a fact. So the fact of the matter is if you're exercising and eating healthy every day, you are looking after your mental health. And so it's something to incorporate, to always eat healthy and to always exercise, because you will have positive outcomes for your body, for your mind, for your soul.
What types of food boost metabolism? Is intermediate or fasting good؟ يعني هو نفس السؤال اللي اتسأل من دلوقتي، هو ايه الاكل اللي ممكن يساعد على الحرق الدهون، او ايه اللي ممكن what kind of food boost metabolism.
So there is no food that will boost metabolism the same way that there is no food that will make you lose weight. There's just substitutes. So instead of having a food that's calorie dense, which is something like a musiba food full of calories, you have something that's nutrient dense, which is like your salad or vegetables full of nutrition but not much calories.
Yep.
But there is no food that will make you burn fat quicker. No. But what you can try is you can try having small meals frequently throughout the day. So that's founded on the fact that if you were unfortunate enough to just be able to have one meal a week, your body would conserve that energy to help you survive. So on the flip side of the coin, it's just a theory, but the fact that if you could try eat small meals but frequently throughout the day, that may boost your metabolism. But a sure way to boost your metabolism is exercise. You know, especially training the core muscle groups like your legs and your back, or cycling or walking or jogging. When you start working your muscle group, then your body requires more energy. Your basal metabolic rate increases, your body requires more energy to sustain itself. That is increasing your metabolism.
Okay. Hello, I'm one of those people that lost weight and packed it back again. I need to fix my diet once again, but have zero motivation. How can I get back to motivation?
I think motivation comes when you achieve a small goal. So, for example, people that are really struggling to get motivated, it's just in my experience, there probably be multiple answers to this, but if you can help them if they can do it, just achieve a 1 kilo weight loss or half a kilo, that mumkin yashagahum, they keep going. The other thing is the family. So it's very hard to lose weight as an individual in a family that's not trying to lose weight. So, for example, if one person's trying to lose weight, but there's other person is having cake and other one's having pizza, then that will demotivate someone completely.
Friends,
يعني
the family is not achievable. But my friends.
بالظبط. يعني انا لما كان احاول ان انا اخلق حواليا مجموعه من المهتمين بالدايت واللي عايزين يخسوا، واحاول ابقى بينهم واحاول اتعامل معاهم علشان ده في نفسه يشجعني ان مش انا لوحدي اللي بعمل دايت، لا ده في مجموعه بالظبط.
You can make like a WhatsApp group and everyone that's interested can post their food, what they're eating for the day, how much walking they've done that day.
Exactly.
If they drank, their 2 liters of water, things like that, things to
give you motivation. That's correct. Last question: what do you think of ready-made meal like Light and Easy or this one?
I think they have their place. I think nothing beats a home-cooked meal, because the fact that when you have a home-cooked meal, you're having fresh ingredients, you know what's in it. You can control how much is in there as well. Nothing beats it, but they have their place. So if it's a matter of whether you have Light and Easy or something takeaway, then obviously you go Light and Easy. They have their place. They're a good substitute if you can't cook at home.
اوكي. طبعا ممكن نعتمد عليها، بس هو الحقيقه تريكومند اكل البيت، يعني مفيش احلى من اكل البيت برضه. اكل ماما طبعا، اكل
بس من غير سمنه، من غير سمنه.
هو عموما الواحد مش هيفضل طول عمره بيجيب الريدي ميد ميل، حتى في الشوبينج ممكن نلاقي ميلز جاهزه في الفريزر ممكن ناخدها ونبتدي ناكل بيها، بس هي دي طبعا مش هتبقى هيلثي واي. Abuna, for a quick question, maybe Abuna Mark, can you tell me your personal experience with diet, and Abuna Jonathan as well? Start Abuna Mark.
Yeah, I think I shared embarrassed myself already with my personal
No, you don't need a diet, Abuna.
but definitely my personal experience is that when we look after ourselves physically, we'll find that everything begins to fall in place. I become happier, more energetic, spiritually I'm more motivated. So it's a good place to start if I'm feeling a little bit spiritually weak. Maybe this can be a place that I can begin to hopefully kickstart my spiritual life as well.
Thank you.
هو يعني انت اتكلمتي على السيلف كنترول، ان الواحد يقدر ياتشيف سمثينج. ففي الدايت لما الواحد بيعمل دايت بيحس الشعور ده حلو قوي، اللي انا حطيت جول وقدرت اوصل له والعزيمه بتاعتي كويسه قوي. فدي بتساعدنا كمان في حياتنا الروحيه، لان عشان نعيش في حياته بقى وعشان نرضي ربنا ساعات كتير قوي لازم نعمل حاجات معينه او نوقف حاجات معينه مش لازم نعملها، ونعمل حاجات معينه تبسط ربنا حتى لو عكس الرغبه بتاعتنا. فماشيه مع الدايت 100%.
شكرا يا بونا، متشكره قوي بونا، متشكره قوي مارك. Thank you Michael very much. I really get my personal benefit from all the information you said. Thank you very much. النهارده يمكن تابعنا معاكم الحلقه وعرفنا معلومات كتير عن الدايت، وعرفنا كمان معلومات روحيه يمكن ما عرفناش قبل كده. يلا بينا نشجع بعض ونبتدي بقى من بكره، نبتدي فعلا الدايت اللي بجد، دايت ميكس سبيريتوال اند دايت از ويل. نفسي قوي ان الحلقه دي فعلا تكون، اتمنى انها تكون عجبتكم. اتمنى كمان ان يجي اليوم اللي فعلا نقف نصلي ونطلب من ربنا يا رب خليك معايا وانا بعمل دايت وساعدني وانا بعمل دايت. عارفين الملك عزية؟ الملك عزية ده من الملوك اللي كانوا حلوين قوي، كانوا بيحبوا ربنا قوي، وكان مكتوب كده في الكتاب المقدس آية جميلة قوي عجبتني قوي. كان مكتوب ان هو في كل ايام طلبه الرب كان ينجحه الله. في كل ايام طلبه الرب كان ينجحه الله. يعني كل يوم الصبح لما تطلب ربنا وتصلي وتقول له يا رب خليك معايا في الدايت وساعدني ان انا التزم بيه النهارده، ربنا هينجحك. اشوفكم الاسبوع الجاي مع اللونش.